the summer of 751 CE, on the far western frontier of the Tang dynasty, two worlds moved toward collision. Along the banks of the Talas River, in the hot and wind-scoured valleys of Central Asia, the armies of the Abbasid Caliphate and Tang China assembled, each confident, each unaware that this encounter would reshape the balance of power across Asia. From the east marched the Tang Expeditionary Force, veterans of long campaigns, supported by allied steppe troops and commanded by Gao Xianji, a general hardened by conquest. From the west came the Abbasid army, led by Ziyad ibn Salih, carrying with them not only soldiers, but the momentum of a rapidly expanding Islamic world. The Abbasids had pushed steadily east, securing Transoxiana through a mix of warfare and diplomacy. The Tang, heirs to centuries of imperial expansion, sought to maintain control over the Silk Road and its allied states. Both sides arrived confident. Neither expected a quick victory. Though similar in size, the two armies were structured very differently. The Abbasid force relied on mobility and layered defense. Their infantry formed the forward line, designed to absorb pressure and fix the enemy in place, while archers operated just behind them, maintaining continuous missile fire. Cavalry was held on the wings and in reserve, not committed recklessly, but preserved for decisive moments. While Ziyad, with his heavily armored bodyguard in center, the Tang army reflected centuries of imperial military doctrine. Disciplined infantry formed a solid core, supported by crossbowmen positioned to disrupt enemy advances. Heavy cavalry units were placed to guard the flanks, intended to counter breakthroughs and protect the main line. Auxiliary forces, including Tarlok cavalry, extended Tang control across the battlefield, at least in theory. Same as Ziyad, Gao is also at center with his bodyguards. What follows, according to the sources, is the opening exchange of missile fire. Ziyad ibn Salih ordered his archers to advance, pushing them forward to contest the field and disrupt the Tang line. Gao Xianji responded in kind. Tang crossbow units were brought forward, forming a dense firing line ahead of the main infantry. In this phase of the battle, the advantage lay with the Tang. Crossbows offered greater penetration, consistency, and range compared to composite bows used by the Abbasid infantry. At medium distance, Tang volleys were heavier and more lethal. The exchange was not decisive, but it set the tone. The Abbasid advance was checked, while Tang missile fire imposed pressure without committing the main body. Both commanders were probing, testing response times, discipline, and formation cohesion. After the exchange of missiles, Ziyad ibn Salih raises the banner. At the signal, Abbasid infantry advances in step, their cavalry moving forward at the flanks, staying aligned with the general's flag. Gao Xianji answers immediately. Tang drums sound, and his disciplined infantry moves forward in ordered ranks, shields locked, formation intact. The two armies close the distance. The mass of Abbasid foot soldiers slams into the Tang line, steel against steel, meeting a wall of drilled professional infantry trained to hold under pressure. Neither side breaks. The Tang soldiers absorb the impact with formation discipline, while Abbasid infantry presses forward through weight and momentum, supported by cavalry guarding the wings. For a moment, the battlefield locks into a grinding contest of endurance, training, and command, where neither army yields and the outcome remains undecided. They fight throughout the day, from morning until the sun sinks beyond the horizon. As darkness falls, exhaustion overtakes both armies. Orders can no longer be clearly seen or heard. Formations begin to loosen, and combat gradually fades. With night fully upon the battlefield, neither side has broken the other. The first day ends in stalemate. The pattern repeated. Each morning began with missile exchanges. Each afternoon ended in close combat. Infantry formations clashed head-on. Cavalry charges smashed into the flanks, then withdrew before exhaustion set in. Losses mounted steadily. Fatigue became as dangerous as the enemy. Neither commander committed his full reserve. Both waited for the moment the other would falter. On the sixth day, the historical record becomes uncertain. Some sources describe a decisive maneuver that finally shattered the Tang formation. Others speak of a sudden collapse triggered by events beyond the battlefield itself. Chinese chronicles emphasize betrayal and disorder. Islamic sources highlight coordination and diplomacy. Chinese chronicles record that the Tang army was undone by betrayal. According to these sources, the Karluk allied cavalry, formerly under Tang command, turned against Gao Xianzhi during the battle. Their sudden defection struck the Tang flank at the critical moment, throwing the formation into confusion and accelerating the collapse. Islamic chronicles present a different account. They state that Ziyad ibn Salih had already secured an alliance with the local Karluk tribes before the battle reached its conclusion. These forces were not positioned within the Abbasid line, but concealed near the banks of the Talas River, hidden by terrain and tall grass, awaiting a decisive signal. When the moment came, Ziyad committed his entire army forward. As the main lines clashed, a signal was given. The Karluk riders emerged from concealment and struck the Tang flank. Caught between the Abbasid advance and the sudden cavalry assault, the Tang formation lost cohesion. Gao Xianzhi was unable to stabilize the situation. His general, Li Xie, urged an immediate withdrawal to preserve what remained of the army. The retreat followed shortly thereafter. Ziyad ibn Salih emerged from Talas not merely as a battlefield commander, but as a consolidator of frontiers. His victory secured Abbasid influence over Transoxiana, stabilized the eastern marches, and confirmed the caliphate as a permanent power in Central Asia. The Tang withdrawal ended Chinese military expansion west of the Tian Shan, while local Turkic powers, now decisive actors, reshaped the region's future. Talas did not destroy an empire, but it closed one chapter and opened another where diplomacy, trade, and regional autonomy replaced imperial advance.